Coach, late third quarter, early fourth quarter, it looked like you were maybe looking for a little bit of a different rhythm or dynamic. Jordan McLaughlin, Malik Beasley, both part of that. How did just them entering the game change things for you late?
Yeah, I mean, all credit to J-Mac. He stayed ready the whole game, and he was really the difference maker in a lot of ways. He kind of got us kind of going out there a little bit on the offensive end, made some great defensive plays. We kind of targeted that lineup with about 2 or 3 left to go in the third. And said, this is what we're going to start the fourth with, go back to Cat, Torian, and put some shooting around him. And, it seemed to work. So it was just enough for us to kind of hold him at bay.
Chris, Cat Fell's out there with about 6 minutes left to go. Anything in particular that you said to the team during that stretch, or what were you hoping to see without him on the floor?
No, not really. I mean, I just, I'm kind of a roll with it guy. Like, if you take him out of the game and the game turns against you and there's only 3 minutes left to put him back in, like, what have you accomplished? So I figured I'd just let it play out. Never in the wild imagination thought that he'd get it the next time down. But we stepped up, and guys, obviously D'Lo made some big shots, and we finally started rebounding the ball.
D'Lo was struggling most of the night, and then, as you said, hit those 2 big threes late in the game. Especially that second one, as it's banking in. What are you thinking there on the sideline as that one's going down?
Yeah, thank God it went in. It was, it looked like it might have the chance to hit the backboard with the trajectory, but we, sometimes get lucky in those situations. All you need. I thought we played well enough. Certainly in defensive end of the floor, offense, we seem to be fighting the game a little bit, but hopefully that's going to keep coming.
Chris, with just all the turnovers that you're able to force, I mean, just is this another example of, on those nights when shots aren't falling or you're not playing well offensively, what the defense can do for you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the defense has carried us the last 2 games. I think that's a great step for this team, and that's what we set out to do. And now, we just got to kind of augment it with the other end. We're kind of creating a lot of offense from our defense, but we got to be better in the half court. So.
In terms of the rebounding, they obviously had a huge advantage. What did it take down the stretch when Cat went out to be able to just get 1 or 2 that you really needed there?
Yeah, continual emphasis on the guys, getting Jaden in there, just a little bit more size, kind of keep the ball alive. Our smalls got back in and got those 50-50 rebounds that kind of squirt out to the free throw line area. J-Mac is particularly good at that. And I think we forced them into some rush shots so that they didn't have floor balance to rebound like they had been. So,
is that challenge kind of an instance of trying to reward effort up from Pat Bev there?
I thought the game right there was tightening up to the point where it was a high leverage situation. And we were, I trust him. We talked about it. Like we have a little bit of a code on how we do these things, and our players are, they need to be 100% honest. And so, I thought it might have happened, but I didn't have a good angle. And, I knew it was going to be a close game, so I was thinking about saving it. But when I thought about it, it was, we needed some momentum in the game, and that was enough.
And then they got some looks from 3, but is this one of those teams where, maybe trying to shore up the inside, especially with Valanciunas, and maybe you're willing to give up some more perimeter looks?
We did a really good job of covering the 3-point shooters, kind of sent them the way we want them to go. Valanciunas is a load on the boards, seemingly, just kind of pushing everybody around down there. Brandon hit some tough shots. We were willing to live with those, kind of, he's a great shot maker. So, defensively, we executed a lot of things that we wanted to do, for sure, So.
It seemed like one of those things was controlling the point of attack with Pat Bev.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry, man.
What does that just change for you guys defensively, whether it's Pat or anyone else, when you can control right there at the point of attack?
Well, that's where defense starts, on the ball. And we're fortunate to have a bunch of guys to be able to do that now. He comes in, he gets a steal, makes his mark right away. And that's who he is, So, yeah, we're real lucky to have that. And, he kind of sets the tone, and we've been using that term all the time. But we have a bunch of guys who can set the tone on the ball or set the tone with a certain matchup. So.
You've talked pretty consistently about not fouling, specifically in reference to Cat. He did have 6 tonight, a lot on the offensive end as well. If you're trying to teach a kind of a scrambling, go-for-it defense, and at the same time trying to encourage no fouling, I mean, you see the results tonight. Is this a balance that you can live with?
Well, in all fairness, I didn't think that his fouls were from the defenseman. I mean, he had a double foul where he, wrestled to the floor.
Right.
Yeah, I think he had 2 offensive fouls.
2 in the first game. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is fouling is an issue to keep him on the floor. Is it something that you just have to live with the way he plays because he's generally playing the way you want him to play?
Oh, I see.
Can it get better than what he's doing right now?
Yeah, what we need to work with him and the powers that be is the offensive fouls that he gets called for. I mean, just because you make a good post move doesn't always mean that and create an advantage. Like, doesn't mean that you get a foul from it. So, but he seems like he probably has more offensive fouls than any other star player in the league.